Hey, back with another reaction. How's everyone doing? As you can see, the weather's changed and the lighting has to be done properly. Okay, much better. Oh yes, so we're back. Another reaction. We're gonna recap on the whole Raja situation, as we reacted before when Raja went crazy and went in there, and gave that man a beating of his life, the wrestler. If you don't recall, so basically this wrestler, Raja, was streaming, went to his wrestling event, and one of the wrestlers hit him with a beer can. Didn't hurt, but Raja felt disrespected. But he accepted the apology because he thought he was part of the skit. So anyway, went on stage, and anyway, I'll put the video up and you can see the video. But now, okay, it's been a few days or weeks or months, a few weeks, and now his dad, Rampage Jackson, has spoke about it. Let's react to it. Let's see what he said. Okay, the first thing I see is, I shouldn't be laughing because I'm a dad, so I haven't seen his videos yet, so I'm reacting with you. 1 second, let me get this right. Okay, let's go.
Why are you not talking to him?
Because he dishonored my name.
But he's still your son.
Listen.
This story keeps getting darker by the day. After Raja attacked the wrestler Stu, Rampage made a decision that you probably wouldn't expect from a father.
I don't talk to Roger no more.
But the more that he explains why, the more you start to see what's really driving this. Here's how he explains the fallout.
We haven't heard or seen Raja since the incident. How is he doing?
I don't know. I don't talk to Roger no more. So I don't know.
Okay, in that response, it stunned the host, so he pushed back.
Well, can I be real with you?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would feel like to see my son do that. I also don't think I would cut my son off if he did that. So if you are worried about his well-being, why are you not talking to him?
Because he dishonored my name.
You know what's so messed up about the whole situation? Because I swear he was the same guy saying that you let that man take you for a dickhead, you let that man take you for a bitch, you let that man do this, do that, do this to you. And now your son crashed out, and I honestly think he shouldn't have crashed out because he accepted my man's apology. After my man crashed out, and now you got a lawsuit on your hands. Now you don't want to talk to him. Now you do this, he's that, he's a F that this, he's this. But that's your blood, bro. That's your blood, bro. I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck. I'm a dad, bro. Like, there's only two things that can make me disown my daughter, fam. Only two things. Hopefully there was 9, not now, but when she's older. There's only two things she can do. And this is not one of them. And I don't insult my daughter. I praise my daughter. I don't bring down my daughter. I rise up my daughter. Do you understand? So it's like the way he talks about his son. I remember he was talking about how I remember he was also talking about how he what is it? He's 2 Japanese kids. I save for the tuition, but when it comes to the black kids, I save for the bond. That is nuts. That is absolutely bonkers. That is absolutely bonkers. That's someone's dad. You know what I mean? I wasn't raised with no dad. Sorry, what's that? I was raised without a papa. What the hell? You know what I mean? I was raised without one. 1 second. Sorry about that. Much better. Yeah. I was raised without no papa. wasn't there. You know, I don't know Rampage Jackson's how he was raised growing up, because it seems like he has a very defense. He's like as a wall there, like a defender, saying, "Hey, don't get too close to me, motherfucker. Don't try to put your emotions on me." So when you have that growing up, and you see your son, like Rampage might have had a crazy upbringing. I'll do some research on it, but he might have a crazy upbringing, but he has to be this tough guy, 24/7. He can't show no weakness. And then when you see your son going through situations that you deemed to be small, like, what's this, bro? I was going through all these different things. You're going through this small thing and you're crashing out like this. So I think that's how he's seeing things. But bro, it's still you. It's still your child.
And
But he's still your son.
Listen. I know he's my son. I'm not cutting him off for forever. I just haven't talked to him.
But this is the worst moment of his life. He needs you now more than ever.
But still,
Isn't it nice when
Talk to him right now.
so in the middle of his son's worst crisis, Rampage decided to distance himself, and not just privately, but publicly. And he also went on to explain who was in the wrong for all of it.
Everybody was wrong. Roger was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this shit ever would have happened. The psycho Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a fucking can that they was drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the neck, asked him to sell it. If that shit never happened, none of this shit never happened. And the promoters was wrong for putting an outsider inside a motherfucking pro wrestling match. Everybody's wrong. The dumbest thing I ever seen. It's a nightmare.
So he blames Raja, he blames Stu, he blames the promoters. Everyone had a role, except him. Never once does he admit that he might bear some responsibility as a father, and there's a reason why ancient wisdom warns us about how we're deceiving ourselves when we won't acknowledge our own faults. Because what Rampage says next, it doesn't seem to be so concerned about his son's future. Instead, it turns the spotlight entirely back on himself.
Roger's a fuck up. He fuck up everything. So fuck that. I'm over it. You know what I'm focused on? I'm focusing on bettering myself and streaming.
That's your kid. I can't even say that. Yo, Bummer, nah. Me can't say that. Me can't. I can't say that. How, and you do it online to millions of people watching it, and you can replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it. Do you know what that's gonna do with a kid's psyche? Do you know what's gonna do with a kid's psyche? God forbid anything happens to him, man. God forbid. God forbid anything happens to him. I think that Raja guy needs to be looked after. Emotionally. Cause this is nuts to me, bro. Because this, I'm watching this. I'm watching the exact same thing. I'm watching it. I'm literally watching it. And I can watch it again tomorrow. And again tomorrow. And again tomorrow. Even if you delete off YouTube, it's going to be somewhere else. You got to watch what you say on the internet. You got to watch what you say on the internet, big man.
Streaming for you guys and being a more positive person, with more positive energy, because I like laughing, making people laugh. So.
And in several other clips, he echoes the same sentiment. While his son's life has been falling apart, Rampage has been literally streaming far more than he was before the incident, framing himself as the one who's moving forward. And this has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because he comes across as being more worried about himself than his son, and there's a reason for that we're going to come back to here in a sec. But it is true that Raja is a grown man that has to take responsibility for his own actions. But the reason why Rampage is
I get that. You're a grown man. You gotta watch what you do, watch what you say. I understand that. But I don't care if my daughter's 40 years old. I don't care if my daughter's 55 years. I don't care if I'm still alive. I don't care if my daughter's 80 years old. If I'm still alive, that's still my daughter. Yes, the conversations will be different the older they get, but that's still my daughter. That's still my child. That's my firstborn. That's my, you know what I mean? There's none of that here. Sometimes, man, some parents, man, I swear to God.
Accountability matters here is because it isn't new. As we saw in our last video on this topic, he spent several years putting his son down, embarrassing him, and emasculating him. And despite Raja clearly wanting nothing more than his dad's acceptance, Rampage would continue to say things that were framed as jokes, but always has some truth behind them.
My son's a vegan because he's a.
Why hasn't he fought in 2 years?
Because Roger's a vegan. And
What's your problem with the vegan stuff?
because I don't think you should be a fighter and a vegan. I just don't believe a vegan that has to cut a lot of weight should be a fighter. I don't care if Roger ever fight again. As soon as I find he's vegan, I don't care if he ever fight again.
Rampage Jackson is gonna be the son that I always wanted. He's gonna be a meat eater and a lover. And he's gonna fight. He's gonna be the epitome of me. Something that you ain't.
Now this happened over and over for years, and even now, Rampage still can't help but to belittle Raja.
Yeah, my son took it too far. He was wrong, and I don't condone what my son did. Not only that, like honestly, if my son didn't have a concussion, I would have whooped his ass when he got home. It would have been. I would have fought Roger for doing this shit.
Is there
I don't
anything?
play that shit.
Raja's a fuck up. He fuck up everything.
Even in an Instagram post where he claims to be defending Raja, he talks about how Raja isn't as smart as he would like for Raja to be. And the mocking, the belittling, and the constant need to remind Raja that he wasn't enough, that kind of shame doesn't just disappear, it festers.
Why you stepping on my shoe? Oh, look, I forgot to tie my shoe good. Can you help me out with that? They like they do from Fat Avenue. Yuck mouth from Fat Avenue.
Psychologists call it the shame rage cycle, where years of humiliation build up until the person finally explodes. We already saw how rage leads to shame in the last video, and what we're seeing now is how a father's refusal to take accountability locks that cycle in place, guaranteeing that it'll repeat. Maybe you grew up with a parent who never admitted that they were wrong, or maybe you caught yourself doing the same thing in your own family. That's how the cycle passes on. And if a father continuously humiliates his son and then distances him, open for life. This is why Raja's outburst wasn't random at all. It was the inevitable result of the shame carried, which is a problem. And a problem that continues to keep growing worse and worse as Rampage continues to blame everyone but himself.
Everybody was stupid in it. The whole thing was stupid. Everybody was wrong, but none of this shit ever would have happened. The Psycho Stu never hit my son, and the promoters was wrong. Everybody's wrong. The dumbest thing I ever seen.
He never once admitted that he, as a father, might have contributed to this moment in how he treated Raja his entire life. And if you can't take accountability, then you obviously can't change for the better, and the cycle keeps repeating. And I even noticed this in my own life. The way my dad treated my mom when I was younger passed on to me and impacted how I treated my wife all these.
I understand. I get his point, but with me, nah, not with me. Not with me. How my mom was with me, I would never be with my daughter. I'll say again. How my mother was with me, I would never do to my daughter. My mom was criticizing everything I did when I was in university, fashion, everything. Always criticizing, trying to find different ways to put me down. Different ways to put me down. And with my daughter, everything, it doesn't matter if it's the smallest achievement. We're gonna celebrate that like it's your birthday. I've been to every, you know, when kids are at primary school and they get like certificates. I'm there. Every show she's singing, I'm there. Every karate fight tournament she's in, I'm there. Every, I don't know, it doesn't matter. She could be dancing in the park with her friends and there's a school player. I don't know, but I'm there. Sorry, I'm there. Rampage Jackson, you need to sort it out, mate. You need to sort it out, mate. 'Cause all that yap is dead. All that yap is dead. Your son's there calling for you, bruv. You know what I mean? Some kids have even got their dads or their mums. You know? You know how the boy lost his mum. You told us how he lost his mum. You don't think that don't play in his mind, bro? And you're his dad, his only parent on this planet. And you speak to him like that. Ashamed, bro. You should be ashamed. There's no real man like that. Romantic. There's no real man. I'm a real man. No. You're not a real man if that's how you treat your kid. You leave legacy behind. But you teach the young. I don't care if you're 55. He could be 32. He could be 72. He could be 44. It doesn't matter. You've lived a longer life experience. So you best teach him. Absolute nonsense, man. Some people should have... I mean, I'll say it, man. Anyway. Guys, thank you for reacting. Watching my reaction. You know, shout out to the show. Why do you meme? What do you mean? That was a good one. Alright, thanks for my reaction.